You need to know your purchasing power. What does it entail and why is it important? It gives you peace of mind. It means that if you fall in love with a property, you have the ability to purchase it because you can afford it. It gives the realtors and seller peace of mind. When a seller lists a property, it means the strangers are walking through the property, sometimes with minimal supervision. This can open up the seller to a lot of risk for crime. When you document your purchasing power, it lets the seller know that you are serious about purchasing the property if you want to. Getting pre-qualified means just doing a mortgage application. This means that we focus on getting a 2-year work and residential history. We look at where you've been for the past 2 years. It doesn't have to be the same place, but we do want to know what you've been doing for the past 24 months. We look at credit, income, as well as assets. The assets aren't under as much scrutiny as the other components. You have the ability to save up during the mortgage process. You could be getting a gift. You could also be getting a grant. More on that in another video. A pre-qualification takes a couple of minutes. Unfortunately, none of the information is verified. I've had a person tell me they made $45,000, but they forgot to mention they were also receiving child support. The pre-qualified amount for the buyer's purchasing power was lower than their actual amount that they could afford. I've also had an instance where someone thought they had $5,000 in the bank. Turns out their actual balance was $2,000. This was a big deal because in 45 days they needed $10,000 for closing. This gave them plenty of time to come up with $5,000, but that was not enough time for them to come up with $8,000. So a pre-qualification is just a rough estimate, and rough estimates tend to be inaccurate. Not on purpose. 9 out of 10 people just have inaccuracies when they do their mortgage application. It's really not worth the paper it's written on, and a lot of realtors won't take you out to show homes unless you get pre-approved. A pre-approval is a pre-qualification that is backed by documentation, which means everything's verified. Your income is calculated down to the dollars and cents so that we can be sure that what we say you can afford remains the same up until closing. Once your information has been verified, it goes through an automated pre-approval system. And then this tells us you did meet the criteria for your mortgage program, or we need to finesse your application so that you do meet the criteria. Maybe wait until your credit score is a little higher or save up a little more money. Approval process can take a couple hours. A mortgage commitment is a mortgage approval that is the pre-approval that has been taken through the automated underwriting system that is now reviewed by an underwriter. This underwriter will scrutinize the documentation, something that cannot be done through the automated approval system. They will ask for letters of explanation and dot their I's and cross their T's. Everything that's requested would have been asked for during the mortgage process. So you're not giving more documentation, you're just giving more upfront documentation. But this gives the sellers and the realtor the most peace of mind because this states that you are guaranteed the mortgage as long as the property meets the criteria for your mortgage program. As long as your income and your credit don't change, you are guaranteed to get to closing. That's peace of mind for you, and that's peace of mind for the seller because by accepting your offer, they're guaranteed that this will get to closing and it'll get to closing quickly since you provided everything up front. Now, this process does take a little longer and can take 1 or 2 days. Make sure you reach out to me so that we can determine whether a pre-approval or mortgage commitment is the best way to document your purchasing power given the time frames for submitting an offer.